Today I'm going to show you how to configure a router and a wireless access point. Also, I will be showing you how a wireless access point can be used as a versatile Wi-Fi booster, which will help you to boost your signals and sort of like repeat your signals. But first, I'm going to show you what a router and a wireless access point looks like. On screen, we have some photos. First, this is what a router looks like. This is the front view of a router. A router is a networking device that forwards data from one network to another. What it does, it basically shares your network connection among multiple devices. Um, that's what a router does. We have the back view of a router. It's what's basically at the back, and here we have the power plugged power transformer. The first port, it's where we connect our power cable from the power point to power on the router. Next, we have the on and off switch, which enables us to turn on and to power off the router. Next, we have this blue port here. It's what we call the WAN port. Enables us to connect to the internet. And next, we have these four orange ports here. It's what we call LAN ports. And these LAN ports connects us to the network. And on the side, we have this small button over here. It's what we call a reset button. What it does, it basically helps you to reset your router if for example a user has used or configured your router, and he or she may have set a password for it, and the next user comes and tries to configure that router, but cannot proceed with the configurations because of the password. He or she may not know the password. So this reset button helps us to reset that password just by clicking and holding it just for 30 seconds. Click and hold for 30 seconds, and automatically it'll reset the password, and you can continue with your configuration. Next, we have the bottom side view of a router. Here we have a USB port. Now this USB port, it connects to your USB printer or any other USB devices. And next we have the bottom view of a router. And next we have the bottom view of a router. If you look closely, there is a sticker at the bottom. This is very important. You should know. It's important that you should know these settings. We have the model number, we have the power, how many voltage, and we have the default settings. Now these settings are really important. It's very important that you should know these three default settings. We have the default IP address, and we have the default username, and we have the default password. Now we'll be using these three settings in the configuration process. We'll be using this this default setting in the configuration process later on. We'll be using the default IP address, which is 192.168.0.1. We'll be using that as our default gateway, and we'll be using the username and password also. The default username is admin, and also the default password is admin. So that's what basically it's underneath the router. It's very important that you should know these default settings. Next we have what we call is a wireless access point. Wireless access point, known short for WAP, is a networking hardware that allows a Wi-Fi compliant device to connect to a wide network. The Wireless access point usually connects to a router through a wide network as a standalone device, but it can also be integral component of a router itself. It's a bit similar to a router, the shape, but it's different. Uh, as you can see, the antennas are thick at the bottom and they're thin on top, and also we have these hollow hollow parts on top of the wireless access point. Um, Next we have the similarly to the router, we have some uh, ports at the back of the access point. First we have the power uh, power point. It's power on and off switch. It helps us to power on and power off the access point. Also, next we have this plug to power transformer. We have this black port here. What it does is it basically helps us to connect, enables us to connect the power cable from the switch or the power point to power on the access point. Next we have the Ethernet port, and similarly to the router, it also has a reset button, but the only difference is the router has a button, but a access point, it has a hole, and inside that hole is a small button. So so if you want to reset an access point, you have to put a pin through that hole and pressing it for more than 30 seconds, and it's gonna reset after that. So that's the only difference between a router and a wireless access point. Okay, we're gonna click on network settings, which is located on the right bottom hand corner of your screen. Take your mouse and right click and click on open network and sharing center. Then click on local area connection, and it's going to click on details and check for the IP address and the default gateway and subnet mask, and we're going to close that. Click on properties, scroll down to Internet Protocol version 4. We'll click on use the following IP address, and we'll just type in an IP address, which is 192.168.0.10, and hit tab. I'll click on default gateway and type in our IP address for router 192.168.0.1, and that's it. We'll go on, click on OK, click on OK again. Now we'll click on details again, just check for all the changes you just made. And you change the IP address, we change our default gateway. Let's close that. Let's close this window. Now we'll just go to one of the browsers. There are a lot of browsers. There's Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome. I'm going to use Internet Explorer. So go ahead and click on Internet Explorer. And on the URL box, I'll just type in my default gateway or the IP address, the default IP address of the router. If you don't know what the default IP address, you can locate it underneath the router, the sticker, and we'll just type in the username, default username and default password, just admin, and go and click on OK. Then we'll ready to configure, so we'll click on wireless, and we're just going to change our wireless network name, it says ID. Change it. Spot. Click on region, just change region since Fiji is not there, so I'll click on Australia, and we'll just go down the page and let's click on save, and we'll just click on wireless security, change the version, and change the wireless password also. Just click on wireless password and enter in your password, and we're going to scroll down the page and just click on save. Just wait for it to save. Now we'll just click on DHCP, and we'll just disable our DHCP server and click on save. It says that the change of DHCP will not take effect until it reboots, so just click on that link there to reboot, and just click on the reboot option, and just click OK. Now just wait for a while, a couple of minutes till it restarts. It's gonna go from 1% to 100%, so we'll just wait for a while. And it's complete. So that's the process of configuration. Let's go ahead and check our changes that we've made. Okay, we're gonna go on and click on network settings. It's on the, which is on the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Click on open network and sharing center, and then we're going to click on local area connection. I will click on details, just check for IP address and our default gateway, and we'll close that. Click on properties, we'll scroll down to IPv version 4, and we'll click on use the following IP address, and let's go ahead and type in our IP address. It's 192.168.0.10, and hit tab, and we'll click on default gateway and just type in our default gateway. It is 192.168.0.254. Once that is complete, go ahead and click OK, and click on OK again. Click on OK. check details again for our changes. We've successfully changed our IP address and our default gateway, so we'll go and close, and we'll close the window too. So we'll go and click on Internet Explorer and click on the URL box, and I'm gonna type in the default gateway for the access point, which is 192.168.0.254, and we'll just wait for a while till the window pops up. And go ahead and type that. We'll click on, hit enter, and now we'll type in our default password and username. It's admin. Click on OK, and now we'll begin our configuration. So we'll click on next. Click on next, since we want to configure our access point to be a repeater. So we'll go and click the option repeater, range extend. So we'll click on next, and we'll just type in our SSID. SSID. So we'll click on region, and since Fiji is not in the options, I'll click on Australia, and I'll just give in a password. Click on wireless password, and I'll just give in a random password, and check the SSID again. I'll have to retype it. Just click on that. So we'll go and click on survey, and we'll look for Mount's hotspot, and just click on connect. So once connect, we'll click on next. Let's go ahead and click on next. Let's wait for a while. And we've successfully configured our repeater. So we can go ahead and click on just click on close. So I've done on the testing visa. So I've turned on my look inside the lab, and I've come out, and I've turned on my Wi-Fi. You can see it's right there, Mount's hotspot, and before it was 5 bars, and you can see the bars dropping up 4 and then going back to 5. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down the hallway, and I'm gonna keep on checking the connection. So as I go along, the bars gonna drop down, and as it comes to 1, so wherever it's 1, I'm gonna turn on my repeater, and I'll show you how it's gonna boost the signal. So I'm gonna walk down the hallway. So I walked down a bit from the hallway, and now, as you can see, from 4 it has now dropped down to 3. So before it was 4, and it's dropped down to 3, then 2. So I'll continue walking down the hallway till it's 1. So we'll keep on moving. So it's going to 3, coming back to 2. So right now, bar came down to 2. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is going to turn on one repeater over here and see the signal boost. Okay, right now it's at 4. It's at 4. So I've turned on my repeater and wait for a while. So it's going from 4 to 2. So I've turned on my access point. So we'll wait for a bit. It's still at 2. There. So from 2, the signal boost to so there we go. So it is boosted from 2 to 3 and then it's going up to 5 again. So there may be some deflection because of hallway and the doors. So, but it works. So my test phase now, it's complete, successful because it works now. Thanks.